Oluwatobiloba Famuyiwa. And I'll just quickly say something about her so that we all know her before she comes on live. And just give me a few minutes and I will tell you about Toby. So let me know, everyone, if you're ready for this. And if you have any questions also, please put it in the comment section so that our guests can answer all your questions or any questions that you might have. So Tobiloba is a public health professional and a data analyst. She's passionate about public health and professional skills in data analyst with great passion for maternal and child health. She's currently a philanthropist in a children's hospital. She's committed to health promotion and community well-being, collaborating with renowned organizations like Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation and Liverpool Women's Hospital in United Kingdom. She's got strong track record in designing intervention and conducting program evaluation and driving positive behavioral change. She seeks to make a lasting impact by leveraging expertise and dedication in public health initiatives. Overall, her diverse experience coupled with data analysis, proficiency, passion for maternal and health and child health, and dedication to health promotion. Her position has a value access to any public health settings, and she's eager to contribute her skills and her expertise to make a tangible difference in providing the health and well-being of individuals and community. And so us on live tonight is Toby Famuyiwa. Please welcome Toby Famuyiwa. Hi, Toby.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you.
Hi,
everyone. Yeah.
Good evening, Toby. It's really, really nice to see you on here tonight. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. I don't know if you are able also to increase your volume a bit because I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
All right.
And so thank you so much, Toby, for coming on here. I don't know if you have one or two things to say to everyone on here tonight before we go in to talk more.
Okay. Thank you again for this opportunity again to share knowledge, and I'm glad that everyone who is on here is here because whoever is on this life is either seeking for help or knows someone who needs help. And trust me, I'm sure there's loads of information that will be shared on this life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Thank you so much. And what we're going to start with tonight is Toby's going to share a story, and then we have a special guest on tonight. I'm not going to reveal yet. We have a special guest that is coming on also. So, Toby, when you hear about motherhood, what comes to mind? What comes to your mind when you hear or when you talk about motherhood?
Motherhood for me, when I hear about motherhood, it means, life, basically. It means you're bringing life, and it's loads of excitement. It's that joy and that feeling like, oh, I am, a woman. Okay, as a Christian, it means, oh, I am fruitful, which is we are fulfilling, the purpose which God has put us here on earth. I'm a Christian. So basically, it's like, yes, I'm fulfilling God's purpose for my life, which is to be fruitful and to multiply. So you hear of motherhood, it means multiplication. It means I'm bringing forth life. It means, something amazing is about to happen. I'm about to, impact a life. I'm about to, be that role model to a mini me or a little version of myself. So for me, that's motherhood, and that's like the best news you will hear when you go to the doctor and he says, congratulations, you are pregnant. So it's all forms of excitement and everything. So motherhood is amazing. It's a thing of joy. It's a thing that every woman should experience and wants to experience, basically.
You said something, and you said that motherhood is a thing of joy, and when that excitement when you get the news that maybe you're pregnant, or people that maybe they are going for adoption or surrogacy, whatever way that you have
Yeah.
become a mom. And it's so true, because it's that joy, having that responsibility for another human being. And one of the things that I want to ask you also is, do you think the journey of mother will start from when you find out that you're pregnant, or you want to go for adoption, or whatever way? Do you think that's when the journey for motherhood starts, or does it start earlier on before then?
Well, thank God for loads of knowledge and experience and everything now. You
Mm,
know, in my case, I would say motherhood for me started, after I said I do, and I got married and everything. Obviously, it's expected that after a few months of marriage, back where I'm from, it's expected that in a few months we should already be seeing, signs that the mother, the wife, sorry, is, expecting. But with knowledge now, I believe that motherhood shouldn't start, the journey to motherhood shouldn't start when you hear, oh, congratulations, Deborah, you are pregnant at the
mhm,
hospital. The journey to motherhood should actually start, way before then. And I think if you have that knowledge as a lady, as a woman, knowing that at some point in your life you are going to get married. So I'm expecting or hopeful that some people who have joined this life are not people who are married, are people who are, single ladies and all. I believe the journey should actually have started. That means the journey, that is preparing yourself, your mind, and everything about yourself it should start way before, the children, come. I wish for me that was the case. I wish I had, so much knowledge and or had someone to talk to me through it. I don't have my mom with me. So probably if my mom was alive, she would have taught me some things. So I basically just navigated through life, and everything on my own by myself. So journey to motherhood for me, I truly believe that, which is not the case, it doesn't start, but I believe that it should start, way before the child,
mm.
comes, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned something. You said that you believe that it should start way before the children come. And why did you say that? Why is it important that the journey to motherhood has to start before the baby is actually like on the arrival of the baby?
Yeah. There's this saying that it says, you can't have is it like, okay, for instance, let's say myself and my husband, you can't have the blind leading the blind.
Mhm,
Like, if you have knowledge, ignorance makes everything, more difficult. You take it makes, things, simple steps and all of that, that
mm,
would have been like an easy journey, it makes it really difficult because you are ignorant, and then you make silly mistakes and all of that. But thank God that now we have so much information out there online. We have so much support groups. We have live streams like this that are giving so much information, and then you are well prepared before motherhood actually starts. I didn't have that opportunity. I didn't have anyone to tell me. It was just all the euphoria and excitement that, oh yes, I'm pregnant, oh, I'm not barren, oh, eventually, because it took me like few months. I was just agitated for nothing. I don't know why, but it took me like few months before, I got married, because a lot of people, there was so much pressure from my church family, from, I was putting pressure on myself. Oh, I should be getting pregnant and all of that. So I didn't actually take the time to know that, okay, yes, I'm pregnant. What happens in pregnancy? What should I expect? And when the baby comes, what happens after? What should I expect? How do I manage
mm,
myself? How do I manage my baby? How do I manage, relationship with my husband? It's so many things into one, honestly. It's not just, carrying the baby. In fact, for me, the real work comes after the baby is born. Like the nine
mm,
months is like a time for you to just, enjoy the euphoria, take pictures by baby bump and all of that, read funny like I read a particular, like I there was no real reality of what I was going through for me. So I just believe that if all this information, if I had real, people sharing their real life experiences with me, telling you, 'cause there's this particular book I read and I'm always upset every time I remember that book, which is I think it's Supernatural Childbirth. I read that book and I was so, expecting that I was going to have a painless childbirth. I was going to have, yes, it's good for us to have faith, but there are things that you should know, face reality, and stuff like that. I had my baby back in Nigeria. My babies, I had them back in Nigeria, and I had them in the general hospital because at that time I was told that it was best for you to have your baby in the general hospital. So in case if anything goes south, you have, professionals and all of that, and you're not in a private hospital. But when you go to like the antenatal clinics where you're supposed to get information as a first time mother who has no mother, who has nobody telling you so much information, I expected to learn everything that I was going to experience in motherhood attending those antenatal clinics. But that reverse was the case. We were only going there to sing, and dance and just, like mark registers and just take pills. And there was not much information, and that really, it messed a lot of things up. But I thank God I'm fine. But it was I just wish that there were more, avenues to have a lot of information. So I wasn't expecting too much or being ignorant basically about what was going on in my body or what I was going to experience and stuff like that. So that is why I say I believe the knowledge should actually come months, years, preparing yourself as a lady, as a woman, knowing that eventually you're going to be a wife and then a mother and all of that. So you should have all that information way before. It helps the journey, it makes it easier for you basically.
You like from what you're talking, you were saying to me, one thing that picked out was like you feel like you didn't have the resources enough to prepare you. Do you want to share briefly to us what the journey was like? I know you mentioned before, like you had complications during childbirth. If you want to just share briefly to us what happened and what support did you have during delivery, before childbirth, and even after? Do you feel like you have support from family members? And yeah, anything that you want to share with us?
Okay, so basically I like I said, I had my I got pregnant a few months after, getting married, and basically all the excitement and euphoria, yes, I'm pregnant and all of that. And obviously the next steps would be to, get registered in a hospital, so you can have your antenatal checks and all of that. And I did all of that because I was excited. I did some few surfing online to know what next, what next. Like I said, I don't have so much family members on my side. My husband is an only child, and he has just his mom, and he has a lot of aunties and everything, but they were not really close to where we were. So I really didn't have so much or any older person or anyone who has gone through, childbirth, um, sharing experiences with me. And another thing I also discovered was, like I said, I read a particular book and I expected that my experience was going to be the same as the book because I had faith and I expected that, oh, yes, this was a Christian book. This was a woman who is sharing her experience about, how she had a painless delivery and all of that. But I didn't know her experience. That was her experience. It wouldn't be my experience. I'm different. She's different. We're not going to have the same experience. So I went into, you know, like I said, I attended all the antenatal clinics, but there was really no information given at those clinics. I expected being a first time mom, you are told, oh, you should see such so and so signs when it's time for the baby to come. You should take this, you should take that, or this is how to push, or I just expected basic knowledge, but there was really nothing. So I was really ignorant all through my 9 months. And then yes, the day came, and they're telling me, oh, push, Toby, push. And I'm like, what is that? How am I supposed to push? And they're telling me, and I'm like, I was just shouting, but I wasn't pushing. So there were techniques that I should have been taught, which I have found out now, based on, my experience and my trainings and, volunteering in the women's hospital and all of that. After I had that experience, that these are things that women should have been taught where I'm from. I know it's not the same over here. And like I said, if I'm ignorant, I'm a first time mom. My husband is also a first time dad. So he didn't have any, information as well. So we were both like the blind leading the blind, didn't know what to do, expecting like the healthcare system where I was should have helped me, to have that experience and know what I was going to do. So I got there, I couldn't push, I couldn't do anything. So it extended my labor because I was fully dilated. I was 10 cm. My water broke before time. Like it was supposed to, if I had all the knowledge, if I knew what to do per time, I shouldn't have been in that labor ward for over a day. that was just being done. I just didn't know how to push. So my baby
mm,
was getting tired. I was 10 cm, fully dilated, and complications started. And eventually the baby was brought out, and all of that. And so, okay, moving out of the hospital, thank God I was fine. Baby's fine. We are all home, I still didn't know how to check if the baby had jaundice or not. I just like a fresh mother, new mother, no mother to, support. But my mother-in-law came back in Nigeria. She came, the aunties and everyone were there to support. But this was a support that I didn't feel like I had the right kind of support. Nobody was understanding me. I was crying for reasons I didn't know why. I was tired. I didn't know how to breastfeed properly. I didn't have the right sitting position. And when I'm crying, my husband is like, "Oh, why are you crying? You're supposed to be happy. It's a thing of joy." So I'm confused myself. I don't know why I'm crying. I don't know why I'm irritated. The baby is
mm,
crying. I'm looking at the baby. The baby is crying. I'm looking at him and I'm not picking him up. There were days I've left him and just walked out of the house. I really didn't know what was going on with me until I had my second baby. I still didn't know there was anything called postnatal depression, to be honest, until I moved to the United Kingdom. And then I started, my training as a public health professional. And then we started talking and having discussions. And then that's where I found out that, oh, this is what I was going through, And then I had all the support. Basically, they felt they were supporting me, but they were not supporting me. They were all
mm.
about, I don't know if I can speak Yoruba, but I
No, you can't.
yeah, but okay, in Yoruba term, like formula, like that means keep breastfeeding the child, and nobody cared about me. Nobody could see that I was dying inside. Nobody could understand that I wasn't
Mm,
happy. I was tired. I wasn't even understanding what was going on. I needed to rest as well. Like now there's some of the support that some mothers I've met mothers who have said they do not want to breastfeed, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't want to breastfeed the child, but it's a taboo back where I'm from. You can't say you're not breastfeeding the child. What do you mean? When it's not like anything is wrong with you. You didn't have a CS. You are all right. So much pressure,
mm,
family pressure, husband pressure. Why are you crying? Carry the baby. There was a day my husband drove into the compound and he heard my baby crying seriously from the gate. And I sat down there and I was just looking at him like, you know what? If you're going to cry, cry. You're not going to die. You are going to be alive. After all, I brought out of the hospital, cry. But those were, if he had understood, he came in, he
mm,
was upset. Oh, you saw the child crying. Why didn't you cry? But he also didn't know what to do. We were all confused. And the support that I had, all they felt what they felt that the support I needed was, oh, let's cook for her, let's
mm,
bathe her, but there were other things that were going on in my mind. There were times I just needed the baby to be away from me. There were times I just my husband didn't understand. I just start crying for no reason, and I was just frustrated and angry, and I was asking myself, oh, this is not what I thought motherhood was supposed to be. But if I
mm,
had the right support, like apart from, helping me to bathe the baby and take care of the baby and all of that, but I had people saying, oh, Toby, you should also rest. I'll take
mm,
the baby from you and stuff like that. It could have been, okay. And gradually I was falling into, depression. I was angry. I was irritated. I was having regrets and everything until I
mm,
moved down here. And then I started to understand and I knew what it was. So truly it's not talked about as much as we want back home, and even in the black community, even here in the UK. I still spoke to a lady who is my friend. We became friends because I volunteer in the women's hospital here in the United Kingdom, and she told me that there was a day she literally just left the baby there and was walking away. She left the baby at home and was just going somewhere. That means she was already losing it. There's no support because you're in a new country. There's no friends, or every friend is either working or busy or has something to do. My
mm,
friend just had a baby today, and I'm here having this life. No, she has no one with her, just her husband who is also exhausted and tired. So those are things that leads to depression. I didn't know that was what it was, but those
mm,
were my experiences, and I thank God that eventually I was able to make a routine for myself. I understood that, oh, these are the things I should do. I need to rest. If I don't rest, I'll be irritated. I won't be able to help the baby as well. The baby needs me to be okay. And I got to talk to my
mm,
husband. My husband was a good support system. he didn't know what to do, but at least he would ask, how can I help you? So basically,
Mm,
I think that is one of the major support systems anyone will need. I don't know what you need, but how can I help you? And when there's conversation, when there's communication between you and your partner, you'll be able to say, okay, this is where I need you to come in. Okay, I need you to take the baby away from me for 2 hours, 3 hours. And then it helps me to, rejuvenate, and then I'm able to continue my mother duties. I stopped working. I had to start doing my business so I could, work with my own time, had my own
mm,
time, know how to, adjust. I had to adjust because I adjust like that. But that's me. There are other people who might not actually come out of it, you understand, and need
mm,
all the
mm,
support they could get. So I started reading things online and stuff and
mm,
everything. Thankfully, I came here and had an insight into it, and right now I'm also helping other women also not to have this kind of, just speak up, whatever kind of support you need, we
mm,
find for you, and then yeah,
mm.
yeah.
One of the things that you said that stood out to me, and it's so funny that somebody also said it on Instagram, that you were in the midst of people and they thought they were helping, but it's not the help that you wanted at that point. It's not what the help that they think that they're giving to you that you needed, even though you were in the midst of people, but you felt like you were lonely, you were on your own in the journey as motherhood. And somebody said you had people around, but you didn't get support you needed. And yes, and from what you said, and what like beforehand, you didn't have enough support, like you didn't have enough information, and then you had the baby, so reality sets in, and from there you're thinking, what do I do next, and how this had an impact on you. And like I said before, and like we seen in the flyer, we have on to us tonight a consultant and a doctor. I'll just do a brief introduction about him, and then you can come on and come and talk to us more about postnatal depression, and also backstages. You heard about Toby's story, hearing the things. I'll be asking questions, and if you have any question, you put in the comment section, please, and I will share the questions with our doctor. Don't forget, I said we have a special guest.